Did you know that Healthy Screen Habits does workshops? For 2 days, we can come and guide students through an exploration of their own tech use and facilitate a research-based presentation bespoke to their own questions. 87.5% of the teens who participated in this workshop recorded a change in their tech use following participation. For more information, contact us at info@healthyscreenhabits.org. Welcome to the Healthy Screen Habits podcast. I'm Hillary Wilkinson. Whether you're starting your parenting journey with a newborn or looking to connect with your teen on technology, let's learn some new healthy screen habits together. Thank you for being here today. Somehow it has turned into summer. The longer days, warmer temperatures, and for some of us, end of the school year. For others, it hasn't quite happened yet. All of these things lead us to what most kids call their favorite time of year. To get your summer kicked off right and remain screen intentional, I recommend setting clear boundaries around screen time. So in our house, this has always meant that recreational screen usage did not happen until a certain time during the day. For us, it was 3:30. This also happened to coincide with me needing to get like paperwork done or dinner started or something like that. So we did not typically watch TV after dinner when the kids were little. We'd move from dinner to the 3 Bs, bath, books, and bed. We live in an area that's lovely outside in the evenings, and we do a lot of barbecuing in the summer. And often this meant that we were outside letting them play after dinner and completely blowing bedtime. But honestly, it was worth it. Those like golden hour evenings when the kids are sweaty and sticky and headed directly to the bath after being outside all evening are times that I think can be chalked up to success in parenting. As our kids get older, sometimes it can get challenging to know what to do during the days of this like long block of time. This is when your local library's summer reading program starts losing its luster as they age out of programming. And the activities that we think are awesome are met with eye rolls. And when this happens, please know it is totally developmentally appropriate. And it's also completely okay to acknowledge that your feelings are hurt by this behavior. This is how kids learn the emotional impact their actions can have on others. It is okay to let kids know you are hurting my feelings. Okay. So let's talk about how to handle these sort of tween years of summer, the age when they don't want to do the little kid stuff, but they're not old enough to hold a job, or they have the autonomy of things like self-transportation and stuff like that. So we know there are always camps, day camps, sleepaway camps. They now exist in every interest available, every activity you could want to do. So that being said, they also have every price tag imaginable. And by fact that it's also now June, many of these spots have been filled. So don't despair. With a little creativity, you can create a camp adjacent experience. I know lots of families who do cousin camp, and that is they host all the cousins for several days, and they have swimming day, a museum trip, fort building, maybe cooking. Your house, during that time, your house is going to be an absolute drop zone, but just know you are creating memories and bonds that will last a lifetime. I promise you it will be absolutely worthwhile. It will be looked back upon with so many smiles. So there's also another idea if you don't have many cousins in the area, family's not around, I mean, we all live a different patchwork of lives right now. So for several years, I gathered a group of neighborhood girls, happened to be girls, could be girls and boys, but I gathered a group of neighborhood girls and hosted a summer book club. And this was a really big hit. It was a hit for the parents because it enforced summer reading and it was something on the schedule, but it was also a really big hit with the girls. And I'll get into it. Okay. So you can start by asking your public librarian for age appropriate recommendations. And you can send these book lists out to the girls and have them vote, or boys, to the kids, I should say, and have them vote on the titles that they want to read. So you could do this if you want to like make it tech intentional, you could do this on a survey form and something like that. So we generally did 3 books. We did one per month. We did a June, July, and an August. And then you can be the discussion moderator. And most books will have discussion questions online. And then the fun part is theming your meetings around the book. So I'll just give you like a few examples of some things we did. One year, the girls wanted to read pioneering stories. We're talking like Little House on the Prairie, and we're talking about, all those sorts of like, westward movement-y type books. And so during one of our meetings, we made butter by shaking buttermilk in a mason jar, which really takes a lot more effort than you would think. And then we ate the butter on biscuits with molasses because I thought I would be so authentic, but then we decided this was really not very good. And so we much preferred honey. So there's learning in that as well. Another year we read Lion, A Long Way Home, which is the miraculous true story of a young man who used Google Earth to rediscover his childhood home in this incredible journey from India to Australia and back again. It's this fantastic way to illustrate the great things we can do with technology as well. So remember, we're always working on like showing kids that we support their love of technology. And yes, we agree. You don't want to be the parent where your kids are like, oh, my mom hates technology, or my parents hate technology. So you want to spend time showing like, oh my gosh, this wouldn't have been possible without Google Earth, etc. So for this meeting, we had my favorite lunch, I think, of the summer, which was a lunch of Indian food. And then we did henna art on our feet and our hands. You can find the kits at Michael's. Use your coupon. Because this book was made into a movie, we had all agreed to watch the movie beforehand. And we compared the book and movie at that, during our discussion. And it was a really very touching, great way to spend some summer days with. I really think it helped build community amongst these girls as well. It was a super fun time to bust out the china and the fancy dishes. They loved it. The other thing we do is we created a book club playlist. So they would come with songs that they like, oh, what song do I want to add? And it was like a song that reminded them of the book or something. So we continue to have this whole playlist of songs just from, summer book club. So really, really super fun. So another camp adjacent idea for free is just simply sleep outside. It's the easiest thing in the world, and it is such high novelty. It is mind-blowing. So every year, my family celebrates summer solstice with an outdoor camp out. So summer solstice is always on June 21st. And this year that happens to fall on a Wednesday, which is going to be a work day. But guess what? We will still sleep outside. It's a thing. And it makes your week a little crazy, but it is the good kind of crazy. It's the good kind of like, oh, I'm exhausted. but it cracks you up when you remember the years that you forgot to turn the sprinklers off, or the year you get a real clear view of the wildlife in your neighborhood that you did not know existed was creeping by your doors at night. So it's very fun. If you are not an outdoor sleeper, just sleep, pitch a tent in the living room. I mean, do something fun just to designate that day as a little different. And it's just all about that little like spark of creativity, novelty, and having fun with kids, and they will remember it. So the very best, to bring this back to healthy screen habits, the best way to get buy-in on tech-free fun for summer days is to have your kids take part in the creation of the plan. They need to get their fingers on the blueprint. So if you need help in keeping your kids from turning to screens all summer long, we have totally got you covered. Try using our free downloadable graphic organizer to help your children plan some tech-free activities and accomplish some goals. So what this looks like is the download. It's in the shape of a hamburger, and it's called Recipe for a Fun Summer Day. Each part of the hamburger is labeled with a different activity that your child gets to write in, either as a plan of action or as they complete it. You can decide which way you want it. It can be used either way. And for example, the top part of the bun is labeled outdoor fun. And so they could write in what they want to do for outdoor fun, or they can look at it, as they complete it. The goal is you're building your hamburger before hitting technology. Okay. So the cheese is labeled personal development. And this can be practicing an instrument, working on a new art technique, challenging yourself to do something new. The burger patty is titled friendship building, and they could have a friend over or call someone or make a card for someone that they don't get to see very often, something that will lead to connection. Then there's also sections for reading and service opportunities. It's a really great graphic. And here's the deal. You will have to spend the first few days training kids on how to use this tool. You can't just hand them this printout and then it's like, oh, it doesn't work. So what I recommend is you print it and stick it in a sheet protector or a freezer bag so they can write on it with a dry erase marker or some type of marker that's easily wiped off, like the old kind of overhead projector markers. So if you haul this tool out every single day, it's going to lose its efficacy. This is a tool that you can use a few times a week, but you need to change it up with other fun days. So when they're very, very young, kids love structure and predictability. It's the reason why we have read, Goodnight Moon or whatever was the book of choice for, that 6-month period that you read the same book every night when your toddler was going to bed. They love that structure and predictability. And when they enter these tween years, novelty becomes king. And this is important. It's the way they're supposed to be doing this. They have figured out that the world behaves in predictable fashion, and now they're wanting to explore beyond that. So it all makes sense. There is nothing more novel than the ever-changing scroll on social media and streaming platforms. So recognize this developmental need for novelty and direct it to endeavors that will enrich and create lasting connections with others. Okay. So use it to your benefit rather than fighting it with tech. We are experiencing an unprecedented period of declining mental health. In May, Dr. Vivek Murthy, the U.S. Surgeon General, released an 85-page advisory declaring loneliness a new public health epidemic in the United States. Research has shown that loneliness and isolation are linked to sleep problems, inflammation, immune changes in younger adults and in older people. I think if you're a parent, we are always having our eye on the other side. They can be tied to symptoms like pain, insomnia, depression, anxiety, even shorter lifespan. In people of all ages, risks of loneliness can be associated with higher risks of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, addiction, suicidality, self-harm, dementia. It's across the board. It is no surprise that human beings, the social creatures we are, have an issue when we are not connected to one another. And social connection can help protect against all of these things. Our mission at Healthy Screen Habits is to empower families to create their healthiest screen habits while maintaining technology as a tool, never a replacement for human connection. This summer, make this your goal too. Find ways to create that connection with, family members, friends, neighbors, etc. Enjoy technology, share technology with your kids, look for ways to share interests with your kids, and really work to build that insulating, protective layer of connection. For it will be the thing that leads to lasting resilience and durability within your child. So, as always, we at Healthy Screen Habits think it's important not just to talk the talk, but also to walk the walk of our talk. All of that to say that the podcast will be on hiatus for the next few months as we spend time offline and in person with those whom we love the most. And I look forward to meeting you right back here on September 6th. That's the first Wednesday after Labor Day. That seems like the end of summer to me. Always Labor Day is kind of like, okay, now we're getting back in. So the first Wednesday after Labor Day, I'll be right here. And that's when we're going to all be filled with sun-drenched memories and waterlogged with swimming pool afternoons and ready to get focused on new fall healthy screen habits. So one of the things, though, that might be nice is if you take time to visit previous episodes, or if you're interested in expanding kind of your repertoire, you can visit previous episodes by topic by going to healthyscreenhabits.org, click on the podcast button, and select episodes by topic from the drop-down menu. There is a whole section on nature and technology, and there are connections that you might find worthwhile as you explore summer fun. To get that free downloadable graphic organizer of the recipe for summer fun, go to healthyscreenhabits.org, and you're going to click on the tools button. And in the drop-down menu, it's right there. It says recipe for a fun summer day. I wish you many, many fun summer days. Enjoy the time, and I'll see you right back here on the Wednesday after Labor Day. Have a great summer. For more information, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Healthy Screen Habits. Make sure to visit our website, healthyscreenhabits.org, where you can subscribe to the show in Apple Podcasts or via RSS, so you'll never miss an episode. It's free, it's fun, and you get a healthy new screen habit each week. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate you giving us a quick rating. It really does help other people find us and spread the word of healthy screen habits. Or if you'd simply like to tell a friend, we'd love that too. I so appreciate you spending your time with me this week, and I look forward to learning more healthy habits together.